So we're going to start this morning with our poster awards. So the third place poster award went to the project Byzantine Resilient Distributed Optimization, a project by Kananar Kularanan Sharan and Li Jin, students of CERIAS Sundaram in electrical and computer engineering. Danyan?
Yes, so now let's move on to the second place. So the second place for the CERIAS Student Poster Award goes to Aditya Bhatt, Manish Nagaraj, Akhil Bendarapulli, Michael Ryder. The advisors are Professor Saurabh Bachi from ECE and Professor Aniket Kate from Computer Science. The title of their poster is E2C, Energy Efficient Consensus. Congratulations. So now I will hand it over to Joel to announce the first place of the CERIAS Student Poster Award. Joel, are you ready? Everyone?
Yep.
All righty.
And so it's my honor to recognize the first place poster winner of Eric Rizenberka, first place for a characterization of deterministic capacity of channels with an active adversary. Eric is a student of Professor David Love in electrical and computer engineering. Congratulations to all three of our winning teams, and thank you to all of the students who worked to put together research posters for this contest. And thank you to our judges who spent time viewing each of the posters, listening to the audio and the video productions, and picking which project was to be honored this year. Thank you very much to all.
And congratulations to their advisors.
Let's move on to the pillar.
All right.
So the Pillar Award is an award that SPAF and as well as the Diamond Awards had started at the very beginning of CERIAS at our very first symposium. The Pillar Award is designed to recognize a faculty, a staff, a partner, a former student, anybody who kind of goes above and beyond to be able to uphold their pillar upon which CERIAS is built. Every year it's very difficult to identify who to pick because every year we're supported by so many people who do so much to support our mission. But this year was no different, but we're extremely excited to recognize Clinical Assistant Professor Nicole Hands. If you go to the next slide, please, Dong-Young. Nicole started life at CERIAS as a graduate student years ago, studying on a scholarship for service grant. Upon her graduation, she was hired by the Purdue Polytechnic to teach cybersecurity courses. As she's clinical faculty, her teaching load is typically 4 classes per semester. So those of you in academia understand that it's an extremely, extremely heavy load. Over the last few years, including this last year, her department has recognized her for her teaching excellence. So certainly she's at the very tip of the spear in educating our outstanding cybersecurity and computer information technology undergraduates in the Polytechnic. This past year, in addition to her teaching load, Nicole volunteered to coach a CERIAS student competition team that competed and placed very, very well, by the way, in the Department of Energy's Cyber Capture the Flag competition up at Aragon. She also designed an individual study course for students and volunteered her time to coach a team of CERIAS affiliated students. Then it finished in the nation's top 10, their very first year competing in the MITRE embedded CTF competition. And if those accomplishments weren't enough, she also supported CERIAS by developing 2 week-long workshops in support of CERIAS participation in the U.S. State Department's USAID program. The 2 workshops ran concurrently. Think about that. 2 workshops running at the same time that she ran. One was focused on teaching faculty from Ukraine how to teach cybersecurity to students. The outcome was 5 Ukrainian universities now teaching an audit controls and security class that she developed. The second workshop was teaching cyber defense techniques to 6 Ukrainian undergrads who won their nation's hackathon championship. The final assignment of this USAID project was for Nicole to visit the Ukrainian universities, review the final versions of the class syllabus, and give a teaching cybersecurity lecture to the entire computing and engineering assembled faculties at 3 of the top Ukrainian technical universities. Her efforts on this program have also helped lead to additional serious work supporting the US State Department's USA program that will be kicking off this next month. It is my great pleasure to say both congratulations and thank you to Professor Hans. And Nicole is in class teaching right now, so we can't get words from her. But I suspect that she'll be seeing some text coming through of congratulations from her peers who are here in the audience. Danya?
Congratulations, Nicole. All right, so let's move on to the next award, which is the CERIAS Diamond Award. The Diamond Award is presented annually to a graduating student that most exemplifies the diamond in the rough transition from through outstanding academic achievement and or research excellence. So every year we solicited nominations among our CERIAS affiliated faculty members to nominate their students for this award. And this year is no exception. So we did receive a number of nominations from faculty members nominating their graduating or students who recently graduated. So we set the span, the eligibility span for this award this year to cover the entire year of 2020. So students who graduated in May 2020 or August 2020 or will be graduating in December 2020 are eligible. So after considering the nominations submitted by faculty members, we have a committee that evaluated all the nominations and make the final selection. So before I announce the CERIAS Diamond Award for 2020, I would like to thank the nominating faculty colleagues who nominated their students. And I would also like to congratulate the students on their excellent academic and research excellence that they have demonstrated during their study at Purdue University. And so this is not an easy decision, as you can imagine, because we only selected one out of the multiple nominations. But again, every student who was nominated, should feel very proud of his or her achievement. So now, without further ado, let me announce the 2020 CERIAS Diamond Award winner. The award goes to Yusuk Jung, who received his PhD in computer science in August 2020. His advisors are Professor Byung-Young Lee and Professor Matthias Peyer. So Yusuk is a researcher in computer security, more specifically focusing on computer software system security, with an emphasis on the analysis and instrumentation of programs and for the discovery of vulnerabilities and the mitigation of those vulnerabilities in the program. He has studied very hard and he achieved a lot in terms of research publications, software release, and vulnerabilities discovered and reported to developers. He has published at the top cybersecurity academic conferences such as ACN Conference on Computer and Communication Security, CCS, and also at the top systems conferences such as the Usenix Annual Technical Conference. So CCS, by the way, is one of the big 4 cybersecurity technical conferences that are the most competitive and the most prestigious. So please join me in congratulating Yusuk for receiving this award. Since he graduated in October, Yusuk has started a new position as an assistant professor at the University of Science and Technology in South Korea. Well, I guess in the interest of time, especially because of the glitch that happened earlier, let's move on. Joel, I believe you have some slides that you just put together, and maybe you can talk about them now.
Unfortunately, since I'm having problems with my computer on this end, I don't have a slide to show, but it's okay.
Yes.
Because this is not part of the formal awards, but this is a rare occurrence for us in that CERIAS is now 22 years old, and we have had a number of employees who have worked for us at times, but rarely somebody who retires from us. And so it's with mixed emotions, excited for him, but not so much for us, that we announce that Jerry Hahn will be retiring from CERIAS on November 1st. So we've got one more month with him, and he has been a joy to work with. So as most of you know, or some of you know, CERIAS is run as a pseudo consortium. We couldn't keep the lights turned on. We couldn't make our bills if we didn't have our strategic partners. So one, thank you to all of our strategic partners. But managing that program is obviously more than a full-time job. I know, because it was a role that I held for almost a decade here at CERIAS. And when I was promoted to the managing director 5 years ago, one of my first tasks was to go out and hire my replacement. Thinking that I had done a fairly good job, that I had done enough to get promoted, I was hoping to find somebody who could do as well as I had. Well, bruise my ego that I found somebody who could do the job far better than I ever did. And we were blessed to be able to get Jerry Hahn to join the staff at that time. The funny thing is I almost didn't even interview Jerry, because looking at his resume, I thought he might be overqualified, and that because he had just retired from IBM, a very illustrious career at IBM, very successful. And not only did I think he was probably overqualified, but that certainly his salary demands were going to be more than what I was going to be able to offer. I was just lucky that Jerry was a Boilermaker, graduating out of the Krannert Business School here at Purdue a few years ago, and that he had always wanted to work at Purdue. And so his post-retirement job was to come and help CERIAS. And we were blessed to have him the last 5 years. And as I've mentioned, much of the job he has done far better than I have. We hit our all-time high in partners. We have 20 strategic partners that is directly is directly because of Jerry's hard work in both attracting and servicing our partners. We are a membership organization, so if we do not deliver value back to our partners in a year, they can kick us to the curb. I know Jerry lays awake at night, something he probably didn't want to do after retiring from the stress he had of his IBM job, making sure that he hasn't missed anything, that he's not left anything on the table, that he's gotten the connections between our researchers and our partners' researchers, that he's provided a copy of the right white papers to the companies that are interested in them, that we've promoted their jobs to the right student section at Purdue. He's a tireless worker. And above all of the great things he does for a job, he has to work for me. And yes, I say that partially for humor, but there is a lot of truth in this. And I've often told Jerry that one of the best attributes that he has, that he understands how to manage me. I get focused on my things and I become a bottleneck. Jerry's very good at being able to say, Joel, you need to take care of this, this, and this so that we can move forward. So I will miss very much working with Jerry. It has been a pleasure for the last 5 years to be able to have him here on staff. And while I've been given the opportunity to speak these words, I know I accent the same words of all the rest of our staff, the 130 faculty, and the thousands of students who he's touched here at Purdue in his 5 years on there. So with that, I know we are very short on time, but Jerry, I would like you to tell everybody that I'm actually not so bad to work for.
Thanks, Joel. I appreciate that. If I would have known you were going to put me on the spot this morning, I might have worn shoes and long pants instead of the shorts I have on here under my CERIAS shirt. So anyway, I do really appreciate the time I've spent at CERIAS. It was I don't want to say unexpected, it was an expected pleasure to be able to work at CERIAS. I had known about CERIAS during my time at IBM, I had brought reporters from IBM publications in to meet with SPAF from time to time, because if you wanted to know something about cybersecurity, that's where you go. So that was a pleasure for me to be able to become part of this team. I know it was probably a struggle for you all as a cybersecurity neophyte that I am to get me engaged with the group, but I'll tell you what, I have learned so much over the last 5 years, and I found that working with CERIAS, that as a layman out in the industry, I was very encouraged and delighted to see the amount of folks working as the good guys in cybersecurity. And the things that are being done at Purdue University under the CERIAS flag are just, for lack of a better word, I'll just say encouraging to the common person to know that people are out there staying up at night worried about our safety and security. So I won't take away from the talks that people are actually showing up here this morning to see. So with that, I'll just say thank you to Joel, to SPAF, Dong Young, the entire team at CERIAS. They've brought me along quite nicely. And I hope to make a guest appearance every once in a while at future events. So with that, thanks so much. I appreciate it.